And we are back. And the Nationals just scored. Home run by Kurt Suzuki. The favorite catcher of mine. Love that guy. Goodness gracious. Oh, thank you. I needed that. That's our up 3-2. I am in a mood, man. That's good. I needed that. I needed that. I needed that. Why is Verlander still pitching? It's over 100 pitches. He just needs to go, man. I don't know why he's still doing that. Just, all right. Okay. All right. Now let's talk about a little bit of AEW. A little bit of AEW. Now, I have to say, let's go with the positives. First things up, presentation-wise, I think it's one of the best looking shows on TV. It reminds me, it feels that itch of the TNT, of WCW way back in the day, man. And it was, to me, I always believed this. 1996 and 1998, the way WCW's production, you can look at W Network, you can look at the YouTube, you can look at it. It's just the way it was presented. It was I'm like, this is how you do a TV. This is how you do it. This is how you do it, people. This is how you bring a pro wrestling into the production value. You see, when you look at the World Series, I'm like, that's what I want my pro wrestling to be. Maybe that's how I look at it, and how I look at wrestling. And I'm like, if it's professional wrestling, it has to look professional. And when I look at AEW, the way they set it up, that to me screams that they're taking the word professional and putting it in the production. Like, regardless of what you think of wrestling is, they say it's professional wrestling. It has to have the look of professional. And that is what I like about this. This is what I like about when I see the pageantry and everything else about wrestling. WWE can do that with other stuff too. But when I look at AEW, I'm like, that's my presentation. That's what I do. That is what I want as a presentation, as that, man. That is it. That's to me that's what I think. That's what it is. Of how when I look at pro wrestling in Islands, and I could be wrong. I think there's actually some good stuff there, and this looks so much better when you look at NXT. Yes, I know the heel turn of Finn Balor, and I don't care. I don't care. The rated production that is trying to be this indie / it's crap. It's this crap. It's garbage. The way they look, it's this fake. It's fake in the way of a pro. It's just where the screams trying to be this pseudo indie / professional stuff. It looks so fake. That's what it screams out when I watch NXT. When I compare to AEW, it just screams it out. No matter how good the announcers are, no matter how good the wrestling is, it just screams out, this is just, to me, it's fake and it's BS, and you shouldn't even watch. It's trying to have that type of mood. And I just don't like that. I hate watching that stuff. That's me. That's always me. What I do want of my wrestling is actually when they took the professional, you make it feel professional. AEW does that. Also, tag teams. The depth of tag teams and the way they are caring about tag teams makes me, it broils my heart. You got so many good tag teams. Private Party, Best Friends, Young Bucks, the Lucha Brothers, SCU, which is more of a trios team, but, they're tag teams. SCU, and the list goes up. Let's see, Best Friend, that's his best friends. Yeah. Jack Evans and Ali Henico. That's good stuff. Dark Order. they're good in the ring. I'll give them that. But man, they have some work done. They need to get some work. You know, they need to get some work done. Huh. They need to get some of the work done about that. And speaking of that, I showed some good production value. But they showed some behind, like they showed explaining the stuff, which I like. I like that. I do. I liked the fact they actually are showing. Uh, they're trying to show tape segments, but you know, I think they should have done something more to explain that why the Dark Order, why they are. And they built this up as a threat, but ever since they won that first bye, they weren't around. They weren't watching. Every other tag team was watching, but them, they were just out there. They weren't in the presence. They weren't actually, like, okay, who are these guys? Who, like, they weren't, there's this dark people and such, they dark and evil and all this type of stuff. They should be lurking in the back. They should be sitting around, being not in, like, I mean, they're not the inner circle or something, but they should be lurking around. They should be looking and just being, the presence of it. Their presence and the way they carry themselves and the way they, that's type of thing. That, to me, is how you build up. That's how you build up a really good and a dark and mysterious tag team. Even in that type of, just have them sit around, like, doing some, like, look and see what are they going to do? Like, who are the Dark Order? What is the Dark Order? What are they planning to do? And they had super best friends, and that was it. Hopefully they will have that feud, but they just feel like an afterthought. And to me, the negative position that the fans have with them, not in a good heel way, but they're just like, we don't care about you. And that type of apathy builds up. That doesn't help AEW. That helps. That doesn't help Dark Order. Doesn't help AEW. They just feel like forgotten. They're not really build them up. They're not really talked about. They just feel like an afterthought. And when they lost to SCU, it felt like they lost to an afterthought. Now they have a nice feud with the Lucha Brothers, who I honestly think they're great tag team. Phoenix, he should be going. Phoenix and Pentagon Jr. should be both going for world championships. They're that good, and I think you could build something around them. But as tag teams, they're great. Phoenix is great. Phoenix is great, and Pentagon Jr. is great as well. So you got two great guys just working out, and I'm like, they're great for tag teams. But honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if you want to have I think Phoenix could be just as great as it could be that Rey Mysterio type of performance. Give me that guy. I want that guy. Come on. I think that someone like Phoenix could get a good run if they really want to do it. And another issue is, quite honestly, the way they structure the shows. Wrestling match, and some good promo time. I understand they don't want to be WWE. I understand they don't want to be, okay, we don't want to be WWE. We don't want to be, a nice little bunt. And, they got sacrificed, but they moved the bases. That's good. Okay. Right. But, yeah. But anyway, it looks to when you look at the when you look at the way WE has this the production stuff. It's sitting and it can work. You do story stuff. The problem is they ran too long. I think if you want to do the promo stuff, the best way to do it is to make sure the promos get to the point. And fans, the people in the ring don't meander for like 10 or 15 minutes. Give it 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. Get the promo out there. You want to have engagement with the crowd? Good. Do have some good engagement. If it does, let's see, 5, 10 minutes, and that's it. And that should be it. It shouldn't be half the show. And that's the one thing AEW needs to do, how to cut time off. I was watching both, the Nationals and such. Watching both, so I didn't watch it in a circle segment. I will watch it, after the game's over, and probably after. So I heard a lot of people were positive with it and said this is what people want, and I think there's some good stuff there too. And AEW has that newness to it, but they need to do something to really make sure the wrestlers are good. The wrestlers they connect with people. The wrestlers are actually build up, and that's out too. And all right, that's now Juan Soto's up. Okay, all right, Juan, do your magic. But anyway, let's look. Let's see. But yeah, I think what the problem is AEW is I think they just they're leaning more to the wrestling and try to get to the hardcore fan base, not open things up, which is I think it's probably the worst idea to do. The worst thing you could do is try to go small and not try to go for the big audience. Another thing I wish they could do better is in the women's division is Riho and just everyone else there. It again feels like an afterthought compared to what everyone else is, especially for example Impact. That has a really kick-ass women's division, and I hope that fix AEW fixes that. I hope AEW fixes that, because I think when they do have a strong women's a strong women's division, it will be the best thing they could do. It'll be the best thing for AEW to have that difference to WWE. Hopefully by the end of this year they can actually start building something up, and that's the hope, is to build something up. Okay. All right. Let's see. Come on. Yes. Keep the line moving. Score run. Let's go. 4-2. Kendrick, thank you. All right. That's beautiful. Beautiful hit. That's nice. Keep this thing going. Keep it going, people. Keep it going. Keep the line moving. All right. But yeah, another thing that really that really hurts AEW to me is that there's the whole records thing, which is good, but also it's a little wonky, because there's okay, the records matter, but yeah, I look like Darby Allin getting a number one contendership match, but yeah, someone like Pac never got. I'm like, why are you putting Pac there? If he's undefeated, you're building him up to something. Are you building him up? And you have these up. I wish they could do more jobber matches so they could build up their records and such. Build up the records. Make sure the matches when they face the stars or regular stars, make the matches seem meaningful. Or you can have a surprise upset to a signing. That could be something really, really cool. But yeah, it just seems that oh yeah, the other just dropped the call. Okay, just see if we can get back. Okay, it is back on. Okay, all right. Let's see. Pitch. No, it's foul. Okay. All right. But things you can also lay down the feet is, again, it's just they're rushing to trying to make AEW seem great, but I think there's pieces there. But when it gets back down to it, I want AEW not to just go for the smart market. When I look at the best friends hug, I'm like, okay, and Orange Cassidy doing this thing, I'm like, it's indie-rific for the sake of being indie-rific. I hate indie-rific stuff that's just for the sake of indie-rific, and I wish they could just look and say, you know what, Orange Cassidy might be a thing, but it's just not, you know, it doesn't work. You know? Okay. Yes! Beautiful! Beautiful base hit. Go! 6-2. Let's go! Woo! Yes. There, yes. Oh. Oh, yes. Oh, gosh. It's amazing. All right. Now, back to this point now. We're going to get back to AEW. Before we head off, and I can just scream and go to another, to scream at the World Series. I'm going to finish this one point about AEW, ladies and gentlemen. AEW, the one thing I think it really does well, I think, again, the commentating staff is great. People love, I think Tony Schiavone is really good. But again, I just wish they could just drop the indie stuff and go more. I mean, okay, you will have your fan base. Your fan base is great. I love the fan base, people. I love it. I love fan bases. I love strong the way to connect to the people. But I wish they could do something that brings everybody in, and you have to look and see what is everybody's watching, because I just my wish for the AEW is not to go for the small mark, keep going for the small fan, but eventually they have to grow it. I hope AEW starts to grow. And when it starts to grow, if they start to grow, I get the feeling when it's, it will be something big, and it could be good for pro wrestling overall in the United States, is that they start really connecting with the audiences and such. I hope that it does. I do. Because right now, I'm sorry, it's just been mediocrity and terrible slush in WWE. And I don't care for it. And that's a shame. I want to care in WWE. I want to care. But I just have no reason to watch or care for it. I have no reason. And the crowd is probably just as quiet. The crowd is quieter than what the Astros, the Astros arena they're playing right now. It's so quiet. That's most Monday Night Raws is most nights, and SmackDowns as well. Quiet. No one cares about the wrestlers, and it pisses me off. Hopefully, when AEW starts kicking their butt, not just the beating up NXT, which is something I saw, I knew this stuff was going to come anyway, because AEW has the production values, and if they continue with the production values, they're going to still beat NXT. Until AEW starts beating up on Raw and SmackDown, those are the main brands, you will not see many change, and I hate that. And I do, because I just wish, because there's greatness in WWE, there's greatness in AEW, and there's greatness in all these companies, but it's just, it's just frustrating to see that they construct walls themselves against their greatness, and by the time they try to tear them down, it's either way too late, or people are just, it's way too late, and people have moved on, and they just like, you should have done it earlier. And hopefully AEW are going to fix these problems. I hope they do, and that will be, like I said, come on, go, yes, safe, go, yes, 8-2, Washington. Wow, this has come to a sports ballpark. By the way, leave something in the comments if you want me to do something like this, and have a live stream and just talk about what's happening with with the World Series or any of that stuff, leave something in the comment below. Anyway, it's Duke CT here. Peace and love. I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Now, excuse me, I'm going to watch the Nationals hopefully close it out. I'm hoping. All right. Wish the Nationals luck. All right. See y'all when I see y'all. Later.